my name is Angela. I am a teacher with VIPKID, and I'm bringing this video to those of you who have thought about VIPKID but aren't sure, and those of you who have a few questions. Maybe you've already started, or maybe you've been researching the company and there are some questions you have that are making you a little bit skeptical. But first of all, if you're skeptical, I'm proud of you, because I am also a very skeptical person. I like to do my research, I like to be thorough, I'm very wary of things that sound too good to be true, so I am going to tackle some of the most common questions I get, some of the hard questions, some of the issues out there that seem to surround VIPKID. I'm going to tackle those and answer them for you, and hopefully answer the questions you have and give you some peace of mind about applying and working with VIPKID. You can email me if you have specific questions about anything I talk about or anything else. My email address is below. It's angelasilva123@gmail.com. If you've already applied and would like my personal help, you can log in and under my account add referral code ANGEL, ANGEL 0084, and I will personally help you through the process and see you to teaching your first student. Alright, so here are the 5 most common questions/complaints that I get about VIPKID from people who are thorough and skeptical of things that sound too good to be true. If you research anything online, restaurants, Amazon products, jobs, Glassdoor reviews, you are always going to hear the loud voices of those who are dissatisfied, because the complainers are always the loudest. The complainers always want to be heard. I don't often leave reviews for places that were great or fine or met my expectations. If something totally exceeded my expectations, I usually will leave some feedback, or if something really disappointed me, I will often leave feedback. So, the most common complaint I hear that people have seen on the internet is that they won't get bookings. So, let me talk to you about that. If you are worried that you will get hired with VIPKID and you will not get bookings, there are a few things you should do. First, when you get hired, you should do as many certifications as you can. That will maximize your exposure to students, because the more certifications in different levels, the more access to students you have in those levels, right? The next thing you need to do is take a workshop, a new teacher workshop. It will help you get familiar with the portal, get familiar with all the different practices, and all of the things you need to be successful. The next thing is to optimize your profile. It's your job to market yourself through your profile. So if you just take a selfie in your car and you type something up that might have a few typos or not translate well, and your video was made super quick in one shot on the first try, and it's all mediocre, it's not going to stand out next to the teacher who has everything done professionally or took time to do it. I actually don't have anything professional on mine. It's all made by myself. I don't have any background in photography or videography. I just researched it to make sure that it looked professional. Look up the YouTube videos from teachers who have given you tips to optimize your profile. Change up your profile. That can help you get bookings. But the people who get bookings are proactive about making a good profile and connecting with someone who can help them get bookings. That's something I offer my referrals, is I use my contacts that I know and submit their VIPKID screen name to help them get bookings immediately. Use a referral teacher who is willing to see you through to your first student and not give up on you. The next question I get is, well, am I qualified? Because I don't have a teaching degree or license. I don't have professional teaching experience. I was just a tutor or a nanny. That's okay. Neither did I. This platform is way different than classroom teaching, and that often gives classroom teachers a false sense of security, but teaching one-on-one to a student in another country who doesn't speak English is very different than teaching in a classroom. Everybody has to learn this, not just those without classroom experience. So, rest assured that if you have experience working with kids and are comfortable talking to them and interacting with them, you can learn this strategy just as well as a veteran classroom teacher. The third question/complaint I get is, well, I don't want to put in a lot of time and money into props if I'm just going to fail. Okay, well, I don't blame you. And I tell everyone who applies with my code that I'm coaching through, don't spend any money. Or if you don't have a headset, go to Walmart, buy a $25 Logitech headset like I have, keep the receipt in case you change your mind, but borrow things. I pretty much only use what I have on hand in my house anyways. It wasn't until I've been teaching for a month and got my first paycheck that I went out and bought this for $20 at TJ Maxx. I had an elephant poster I stole from my daughter's bedroom before this, because you do need a background. But let me give you some perspective here. A lot of people seeking out VIPKID are doing so because they want to stay home. They don't want to commute to a job. How long is a commute? 15, 20 minutes? Longer, of course. It's very subjective. They don't want to pay for childcare. they want to control their schedule. There's a lot of reasons people come to VIPKID. Now when people start telling me, oh, I'm not getting paid for this, I'm not getting paid for my prep, I say, well, are you going to get paid to drive 20 minutes to work? Are you going to get paid to drop your kid off at daycare? Is someone going to pay for your daycare? And once you've taught a few lessons with VIPKID, you're going to find you don't have to prep really at all. First of all, the lessons are pre-made. Second of all, they're quite repetitive. VIPKID has a very structured teaching style, so once I see an activity in one level, I will see it again in another level. So at first, I spent about 15 minutes the night before a group of classes going through their PowerPoints, and now I wake up at like 5:45 for my 6 o'clock class. 15 minutes is enough time to throw this on, get some caffeine in my body, make sure my computer's working, and sit down and teach. That's what I do. And then I'll look ahead through my next upcoming lessons on my 5-minute break, and I'll hurry and pull up my app, which has the lesson on it, and I'll flip through. And I'll even flip through during the lesson if it's when I really haven't seen it and I'm worried about it. So I can really quickly look down, and that's all it takes a second to look down at the slide and get familiar with it. There is no prep for this job after about a month. You'll get used to it. There is a learning curve, but it is so user-friendly and easy to learn if you have an open mind. One more point to make is, if you pass the interview now, you can't fail. So after the interview, the mock class is job training. That's what it is. And every job requires job training, right? This job specifically requires training because very few people have ever taught online before. So I try to give that perspective to those who are complaining that it's taking 3 or 4 mock classes. 3 or 4 mock classes is equivalent to like 2 hours of job training. I think that's very minimal for a job, especially a job that someone has never done before. So keep that in mind. It does take people about 3 or 4 times on the mock class. The mock class is just practicing with an actual teacher pretending to be a student until they decide, yeah, you've got the skills down, you're ready to go teach a student. And that student is expecting you to use TPR, to repeat the words several times, to correct them, right? So once you've demonstrated to a VIPKID mentor in your mock class that you've mastered those skills, that you remember them and they come natural, then you're passed on to students. But you can do that mock class as many times as it takes. All right, the 4th question I get all the time. Is this a pyramid scheme? Is this an MLM? A lot of work from home jobs are network marketing based, which means you need to build a team, you often have to pay a fee, carry an inventory, have a downline. VIPKID is nothing like that. You are 100% on your own. You don't ever pay a fee, you don't ever pay anyone anything. You get paid once you teach lessons. That's it. And this brings me into the next question I get, which is, why is every VIPKID teacher throwing out their link, their referral link, and their code? It's a little pushy. I get that all the time. It's kind of pushy. What's the catch? There isn't a catch. VIPKID has an awesome referral incentive. If you use a teacher's referral link or code when you sign up, and that teacher helps you through the process, which takes time to answer questions, right? These videos, everything, all of this takes time to do to help people. VIPKID will give me, or whoever's code you use, $100 if you use their code and you teach your first student. That's the only way they get their $100, and it comes from VIPKID's budget. So it's a way for us to spread the word and to offer a contact, right? People are more likely to stick with the job if they have support from within. So it's a lot cheaper for VIPKID to pay only for successful hires than to throw all this money into recruitment for people who may or may not be interested, might drop out. They only pay for successful referrals. So it's actually very smart for VIPKID to do it that way. It's also really good for the referring teacher because we get a bonus for our time put into helping you, and it's good for you because you have an insider giving you tips, helping answer your questions, etc. So to answer those questions, it is not an MLM, and it's because VIPKID has an awesome referral incentive, but you don't have to do it. You can wake up, teach your classes, get paid, never tell a soul about it, and you will still make great money. All right, the 5th thing is, I'm not young and blonde and energetic, and everyone on YouTube seems to be a millennial and an Energizer bunny, and that is just not me. Oh. Well, my response to that is, I think it's a millennial thing to be a YouTuber. We're in the technology era, right? But there is a Facebook group called VIPKID Teachers Over 55. And if you watch my video where I surveyed the parents of VIPKID teachers about bookings, and I said, what is appealing to you in a teacher? The biggest response for the most important thing was years of teaching experience. The parents aren't the ones sitting in front of the camera, it's their kid. They're not interested in their kid staring at a pretty face. They're interested in their kids sitting in front of an effective teacher because they're paying good money for these lessons. and they are not paying good money for their kid to sit and stare at a pretty face. So there are VIPKID teachers age 20 to 80, male and female, all colors and ethnicities, and it doesn't matter. What matters is that you are an effective teacher, that you can connect to the student, adapt to their needs, show empathy towards them, and do a good job. And if you do that, then you can be a great VIPKID teacher. It doesn't matter how old you are. There are some very energetic teachers out there, and a lot of kids feed off of that. There are also some very reserved teachers, and there are a lot of shy kids who really appreciate the patience and the soft nature of those calm teachers. If you love teaching kids and you can do it effectively, then you will be a great VIPKID teacher. Alright, I hope I've answered some of your questions or relieved some of your concerns about VIPKID. I agree that it sounds way too good to be true, and I thought that too. And I only knew one person who did it when I applied, and I still thought it was a scam. I taught for 1 month, and the students would show up, and I just kept thinking that something's wrong here. Like, this is too good. This is super fun, and I didn't make any of these lessons. And I'm waking up at the time I want to wake up. And I was so worried that I wouldn't get paid because I started at the beginning of a month, so I wasn't going to get paid till the following month. And I didn't tell anyone I was doing this because I just thought this is too good to be true. And then I got paid, and I was like, my days haven't changed. I wake up 2 hours earlier, but I have $1,000+ in my bank account now. My days are the same, and with my kids, this is fantastic. And that's when I started making YouTube videos and sharing my referral link and creating training materials to help people get hired. Because I didn't have a lot of materials when I was getting hired a 1.5 years ago, so I wanted to create those for other people. I want to answer the questions you have. I want to help you find peace of mind, because this job honestly is about as good as it gets for working from home, setting your own schedule, not having to sell or pay any fees for anything, and having freedom over your income. You can open as many classes as you want. You can work only weekends if you want. During the holidays, so starting now, I open a few more hours each weekend to save up extra money for the holidays, and I love that I have that control. Nobody else sets my schedule. I decide how much I work, and I decide how much I make. And that's awesome. If you have any other questions, please email me, reach out to me, comment. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any other videos. I'm hoping to be more consistent on here. I'm going to do my best to put more thought into delivering content that will be helpful and applicable, and I would love your suggestions. If you want me to talk about anything, please leave a comment below. Alright, good luck! I hope you join the VIPKID team. I'm excited to connect with you, and happy teaching!